and welcome to The Zest, the official podcast of Orange Coast Magazine. I'm Chelsea Rainieri, and today's guest is someone who helped define the soundtrack of the early 2000s. He is the frontman of Hellogoodbye, the band best known for their hit Here in Your Arms, which topped charts and became a staple on iPods everywhere. You might also recognize his music from shows like The OC. Thank you so much for being here today, Forrest Kline.
For sure. Thank you for having me. What a treat.
I know. So we have a mutual friend. Shout out to Kelsey.
Yes.
And when she told me that she was when she told me she was friends with you, I was like, what? Because I'm such a huge fan of Hellogoodbye. Like the songs Here in Your Arms and Oh, It Is Love, like just immediately take me back to being a teenager in Huntington, which is funny enough, also something we have in common.
Brings me back too.
Yeah. Oh, it's so awesome. Well, speaking of growing up, can you share a bit about the bands that inspired you back then?
The first band that like made me want to be in a band was Blink-182.
Oh, nice. Classic.
Yeah. I mean, I was listening to I grew up on American oldies, K-Earth, when K-Earth was K-Earth or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, I just love that music with the Beach Boys, Everly Brothers, stuff like that. But then when I discovered Blink-182, it felt like something that maybe I could do myself, So it was really inspiring just in the way that that they made it seem easy and fun.
Yeah. Well, I read that you were in bands in middle school. So were you playing like that more type of music?
Yeah. I got a guitar in 6th grade. Didn't have any bands until about 8th grade. And then 8th grade started a band. And it was kind of like ska punk.
Oh, cool.
I had a song about Dawson's Creek.
No way. I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds like it would probably be so fun. Have you seen those kids on TikTok that have blown up like in their garage band?
No, meaning what?
There's like these kids, it's like, I don't know, maybe like 5, they look like middle schoolers, maybe early high school, kids that just play in their garage and they do a bunch of covers.
Okay,
yeah, but they just like see that and I'm like, God, I wish I was a teenage boy in a band. It seems like it would be so fun.
It was a great time. Honestly, it was a great thing to do growing up. I was skateboarding, and then as soon as I started playing in bands, it just took over because it was just way more interesting to me.
Well, you ended up recording music on your computer during high school. Can you explain kind of what that entails and how you first got into it? Because I think my only knowledge of doing that would be like Rock Band on
Rock Band or Garage Band? Garage Band?
Garage Band. Yeah, I'm Garage Band.
Rock Band's the video game.
Yeah, exactly. That I could play.
Yeah. Garage Band's very similar to some of the first programs that came out. Honestly, like the dawn of home recording programs in I guess it would be 1997 or so. I started getting pirated software on the internet and would have a terrible sound card that really you couldn't actually record audio into. You could, but it just sounded awful. So mostly it taught me to be programming, doing MIDI. And that's it taught me a lot about music, getting those programs and being forced to program a beat or program a melody or program chords. I didn't, study music theory, but seeing music that way made it obvious what was going. If you are like a triplet, I didn't know what that was, but I knew that if you just divided it in threes, for the beat, and I could see it, it was visual. So it taught me a lot. And then it was just so fun to be able to, after having a couple bands, when I started doing this about 9th, 10th grade, it was so fun to be able to just make things on my own and not have to rely on anyone else or schedule or navigate any of that, and just be able to sit in my bedroom late at night, whispering into a microphone and programming beats.
Yeah. Were you singing at this point?
Yeah, whisper singing so I wouldn't wake up my parents.
It's like the early stages of ASMR.
Well, now everyone whispers things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I read that you were in a band called Colorful Symphony in high school. Was this around the same time?
Yeah, that was 10th grade. Okay. Maybe a band. Funny, I don't know what, Wikipedia, you went down. That's some deep lore. Really, that project or that name only existed for that talent show. At Huntington Beach High. I just kind of gave it a name for whatever I was doing at that talent show, which I just played 2 songs that I'd written, just acoustic, very straightforward. I wish I had some kind of recording. I don't.
Yeah.
Who knows what they were? But just did that one-time thing with it, and did the talent show.
Were you performing by yourself, or did you have people with you in the talent show?
It was me and a friend just doing. He had a little Casio keyboard and me on acoustic guitar.
How cool! Was this in the APA building?
Yeah, the main theater at Huntington High.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so cool. I can picture it completely. Well, at what point did you start getting Hello Goodbye off of the ground?
Shortly after that,
Okay.
again, I'd like had bands with people, and then Hello Goodbye was the first time that I was like, oh, I can just record this stuff on my own. And then I made like, I don't know, a handful of songs, 6 to 12 songs or something. And then it was like rounding people up to play shows.
Got it. So I didn't know that Hello Goodbye was just you. Like, I thought that it was a multiple.
Right. I mean, I'm always playing with other people, but the birth of it was kind of a solo project.
Wow. So cool. So you used to perform locally around Orange County. Can you share some of those first performances?
Yeah, it's apropos because tomorrow we're actually playing Chain Reaction again.
What?
Yeah, you should come out if you want. I think Kel's going. Chain Reaction in Anaheim. You remember it, right? It's
God,
like
yeah.
the OG venue. So that's where Hello Goodbye would play constantly, honestly. They're in the hub in Fullerton. Yeah, Jesse, who played back in those days and was a part of like writing a few of the first songs we wrote together. He's going to play, and it was just a fun thing that we did a tour about 6 months ago, and we were like, we should just book something at Chain and have a good time. So that's the plan.
My God. That's so cool. Well,
we're throwing it way back. We've got the Suburban Legends.
Oh my God.
Play, if you remember them. Limback, another Orange County legend.
You know what's so crazy is everyone was obsessed with Hello Goodbye. I don't know that many people knew that you went to Huntington High School when I was there. I don't remember being like knowing that.
Yeah. Wait, were you you're a little younger than me and you went there after me?
I'm 2010. Yeah. I was graduated 2010.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I gotta go brand myself down there. I gotta like do some like assistant sit-ins or something. Make sure they know.
Seriously, because it's such a cool, like, I feel like honored that I can claim that. But okay, so Here in Your Arms came out in 2005. What was the inspiration behind this song? And for people who didn't know back then, what made it stand out from what else was on the radio at the time? Because it was very different.
So the inspiration, also apropos, celebrated a 15-year wedding anniversary with my wife Chelsea yesterday.
Oh, congratulations!
She's certainly the inspiration for that song. Written just about 15, almost 20 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah, which is cool. Also, I was really just honestly trying to do something like Digital Love by Daft Punk.
Okay.
That's what I wanted it to be. And I guess it's pretty close, honestly.
Yeah.
And then what made it different? I don't know. I mean, at the time I was inspired, like I said, Digital Love. I loved some of the pop stuff. Like I loved Escape by Enrique Iglesias and was kind of trying to channel that.
Yeah. Oh, I totally feel that.
Yeah, that's some sweet stuff right there. And like Toxic, Britney Spears. Like I wasn't like a big pop head, but there was a few that really, grabbed me. And so I was trying to channel something like that. I think part of what was different was the quiet verses and big choruses. Maybe that was not done so much at the time. I don't know. I guess what I hope made it different was that it was a little bit more personal, handmade, heartfelt. Felt like it came from a human instead of like a room of pop songwriters or something.
Yeah, totally.
That was like another thing that was on my mind beginning Hello Goodbye, was like trying to do, like I said, I was a fan of this pop star. I loved like Venga Boys, and I wanted to like have the Venga Boys, but with like lyrics that meant a little bit more, or at least meant more to me.
Yeah. Well, I like literally can remember when my friend Lindsay showed me the song and I like downloaded it on my iPod. It just like, I was obsessed like immediately. Everybody in my high school was.
Nice.
But was there like a specific moment? Cause I mean, as I mentioned before, it was you had songs in the OC where you were just like, whoa, this is really like taking off.
I don't know. It's hard to say because I didn't really have any goals. didn't really mean to do this. I just wanted to write songs. And so as it like started to sweep up, and it did grow slowly. It wasn't a 0 to 60 kind of thing. It felt very organic. Like we were touring for years, playing to 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, and so it was really incremental. So there wasn't this big like flashpoint. I feel like there's like a moment when we got invited to go on TRL, and I was like in TRL studios, and meeting all the hosts and stuff, and David Cross was there, and that was kind of a moment where I was like, oh, this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I always had this sense of like that I didn't belong, at any of these places. It was always kind of this outsider thing, like all these funny things. We'd do like the spring break party or whatever MTV thing, and we're like, with, like LL Cool J. And at the time, I was just like, it was just a surreal, like, not like, whoa, this is really taking off. It was like, what are we doing here? Like, we're not, I don't make any sense with this, you know?
No, I totally see it though.
Yeah. So it was fun and exciting, but sort of just like a laugh to me at the time.
Honestly, it seems like that made you kept you humble though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a, like, that's a funny thing, because it's like, on the one hand, I guess I wasn't letting things that seem big, like, kind of, I wasn't thinking about it too much. It wasn't like letting it like make me think of things differently. But at the same time, humble, I don't know. I always had this like, almost like I'm better than this thing at the same time, you know? Or like, this is a joke. Like, I don't know, MTV Spring Break seems goofy, and like, I don't know if humble's the word, but something along there.
Yeah. God, I can't even imagine what that must feel like. And I honestly, I can remember that LL Cool J song, Control Myself, or Control Yourself.
Okay, yeah.
That song was like, I can almost guarantee that was the song he was playing for that, because I remember era. But speaking of all these major things you're doing, you toured extensively through the US as well as in Europe, including the MTV U tour, and also with bands like 303, which still love to this day, and Paramore, love as well. Can you share some of those memories from that time?
Well, both those bands are great. Love them as well. And such sweet people. They were both total delights to tour with.
Oh, that makes me happy to hear.
Yes, no, totally lovely. And the Paramore tour was like probably the biggest, it was like the biggest tour we ever did, like Madison Square Garden. So even though we were opening, it was pretty exciting. And then the fact that they're sweeties, that makes it even nicer.
Yeah.
And that was a little later. So that was nice. Honestly, like the earlier times were nice as well, but they were overwhelming, you know? Mm-hmm. So when we were touring extensively, I was getting burnt out, and I didn't really want to tour in the first place. Like when we started, the first tour was kind of exciting. And then I was like, you know what? This isn't comfortable. I don't think I actually enjoy this. I was like fancying myself a Brian Wilson type. If you know the story, the lore of him, he like left the band, or, you know, he basically was like, I'm going to stay home and make pet sounds and write and record, and you guys can go tour, but I don't want to do that. And I felt that way for a little bit when it was like particularly overwhelming, right? Mm-hmm. But then I came to love it, and now I love to tour. I love to travel, and it's all because of those experiences. Even though they were kind of hard at first, it taught me to like open my mind to it.
Yeah,
so I'm really thankful for that.
Was Chelsea with you?
Here and there. I mean, it was so much. We were touring like, most of the year, like 9 months of the year, or whatever. There's like 2 years that were really crazy, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like being gone most of the year. So she'd come out for big chunks of it, but could hardly even make a dent in the total, you know?
Right. I feel like that would be the hardest part, is being away from.
That was a really hard part. It inspired a lot of songs.
Oh, at least there's that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, what is touring like? Because I am such a homebody. I understand why it would be hard in the beginning. Like,
that's exactly what I mean. I was like a homebody.
Yeah. So are you like, is it just go every single second of the day for 9 months?
Well, hurry up and wait is the quote. So it's go until then you have, an hour and a half to sit in a empty room or whatever. Like it is go, somehow so pressure, so stress, so crazy. And then like, okay, just wait. We're not ready. So it's kind of the worst of both worlds in that way.
Yeah. Like an hour and a half is not even really that long to take a breath though, after all that.
Yeah. In that sense, it feels that way too. Yeah. Like every little downtime isn't even enough, even though it's sort of excruciatingly long, or can be.
Yeah. Well, what was it like performing at Madison Square Garden? I can't even fathom.
Yeah, really exciting. Like everyone's parents were out, and that was a moment that felt very like, even though that was way later in the scheme of our career or whatever, that was kind of a moment where it was like, wow, this is taking off.
Yeah.
Or at least,
you see that, well, yeah, like when you see that big of a crowd, are you like able to process how many people there are, or is it not even?
Kinda. In a way, those are the things that like those are easier. Like the room of 20 people is. I think a lot of people feel this way. Like a room of 20 people, and especially if it's like people that is so stressy. But like a room of like 20,000 is like, who cares? Like some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna hate it. What are you gonna do? It just feels a little detached in a way that can make it easier.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. I feel like it'd be much more intimate than like with 20 people, and you can see everyone's reactions.
Yeah, exactly. And then if somebody doesn't like you, it feels really bad.
Yeah, if someone like goes to the bathroom or something, I'd be like, no.
To that, and we've gotten a lot better. I have, and everyone that we tour with, like better at touring and enjoying it. Like I said, now I fall in love with it. But literally, we do it in a way that is not 9 months out of the year. At a reasonable pace.
Yeah,
which I think anybody who tours for 20 years gets to the point where, for whatever reason, they're gonna like chill it out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But also just like not taking it too seriously and enjoying it. We'll stop and go camping and get a cabin and
nice.
Try to keep the schedules like comfortable. It really like whenever people come out and they haven't come out with us, people tend to feel like, oh, it's kind of like just more like a road trip. And like, yeah, good. Because the old grind was not very fun.
Yeah, that sounds much more doable. But well, are there any like standout memories from touring with Paramore?
Well, Madison Square Garden for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun memories. So there was one time, I probably shouldn't tell this story. We all took mushrooms, and it was the one night when then they surprised us and wanted to come get a tour of our bus, and we were just all on mushrooms, and it was so awkward. I don't know how many details to give, but mostly it was just us feeling like this social situation is way beyond us at the moment.
Wait, they wanted you to give Paramore a tour of your bus?
Yeah, they came by being like, hey, want to hang out? And we were like, no, not the no. I don't know if they know that. So.
Yeah. Are you still in touch with those bands like 303 and Paramore now?
Yeah, a bit. Actually, 303's drummer that was on tour with 303 at the time now plays with us often. Came out in the last tour that we did with Armor for Sleep. Adam, lovely dude that we met through that.
Well, so this will be coming out in about a month. Do you have any like spots that you're playing at then?
Yeah, still got lots going on. So in about a month, maybe just in time, if someone can book their ticket real quickly, I'm doing a show in Italy.
Whoa.
And Lucca in Tuscany. Got like a little villa and some local musicians doing like cool little show. And maybe there'll be some wine and some like, local guide.
Oh my God, the
information. Dream? Yeah, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's July 24th.
Nice.
And then we're going to go to the UK. The Armor for Sleep tour that we just did in the US, they're taking it over to the UK. So we're going to go over there with them. And that is in September. I think the 13th to the 20th in the UK. If anyone is listening to the Orange Coast, the Zest out in England.
I hope.
And then in the South and like kind of the Midwest of America, in October with Jack's Mannequin, we're going to go out for about a week, kind of like to, like Florida up to Detroit and Toronto and around kind of through there. I've got a new record just about finished, so probably going to put that out next year after all of this. And we've also got a 20-year anniversary for our first record with Here in Your Arms on it. Coming up next year. So we're going to do a 20-year anniversary tour. Lots going on.
The 20-year anniversary tour. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Are you doing Orange County for that one or LA?
For sure. Yeah, LA or Orange County for sure. Cool. In like March, April. Please.
Oh, perfect. Please. Yeah, I would love that. Okay, so I read about the National Barbecue Tour, which sounded so cool. Can you explain like what this was and how you guys came up with this concept?
See, that's an example of when we started getting better at touring and enjoying it, right? And honestly, also relevant because the barbecue is a great vibe, obviously. Mm-hmm. We learned that from Limbeck, who's playing with us tomorrow. When we used to tour with Limbeck all the time, still try to whenever we have a chance. But it was one of the first times when I saw the way they toured and they enjoyed it. And again, we toured with so many bands that where it was a grind and they take it very seriously, and vocal rest and,
Wow.
whatever, all the things. Right. And then I saw Limbeck and they're barbecuing in front of the venue and like stopping at a lake and going swimming. And it changed my whole approach to, what it could be out there. So definitely have to give it up to them for inspiring the barbecue tour idea. And so we just wanted to kind of show people that and share that like, we can all just set up a grill in the parking lot and hang out. And, it doesn't have to be all work.
Wait, were you out there with your fans barbecuing?
Yeah, that was the whole idea. It was every show we like got supplies and we grilled.
That's so cool. Were people like, was it like overwhelming in any way, or was everyone pretty cool?
Everyone's super cool. That's always been kind of the way Hellogoodbye has run things, at least once we figured it out. I've done like living room tours,
What? Wait, what's that?
Yeah, I've done a couple living room tours where I just have put the call out. I mean, like, if you have a living room, grand or quaint or whatever, and go around solo and bring in a guitar and playing shows in living rooms. A couple cool artists do that. And same thing where I like breaking down the walls and just kind of hanging out and making it comfortable and actually enjoying it instead of, again, like putting on this big facade of like VIP meet and greets or whatever,
Right.
Just trying to actually chill.
Yeah. It sounds similar to what American Rejects is doing right now with like that's so cool. Living room tour sounds really, would you ever do that again?
Planning on it. I loved it. I did it twice and it was one of the best things ever. Met so many cool people through it. People submitted crazy spots sometimes. Like really interesting, whatever, like somebody had like a great, backyard space or whatever. Or sometimes there'd be that house that, all of the young 20 somethings or young 30 somethings at this point live in and kind of like throw parties all the time and like have a little community, and you get invited into that where like people would probably go to that house's party anyways, some of that. Or even then people were submitting like, rich people had crazy nice houses and then you're like getting all treated. I met so many cool people through that. It was a great thing. I'll definitely do it again.
Yeah. Oh my God. That sounds so much fun. Okay. So we've explored a lot of the amazing highlights of your career, but can you tell us about some of the key challenges that you faced along the way and how you overcame them?
So burnout, like we touched on, was a big one. And that was just learning to say no. You have to put your foot down at some point. There was a time, and sometimes I regret it. When we were doing that grind of touring constantly, and we were booked to go to South Korea.
Oh, whoa.
And play a show. And I really wanted to, but then it was just like, it was, weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks. Everyone was getting sick. We were all feeling ill and we were just like, look, we're not going. Like,
that's
I
so
feel like now, now I think it's a lot more normal. Artists cancel tours all the time, for just mental health burnout reasons. It wasn't so common back then. And like our record label was so mad, but we just had to be like, sorry, we're just not here for it. Got to take a break.
Yeah. And good for you guys for doing that too.
Yeah, it felt good. And it was like a turning point when it was like, okay, look, we're not just going to go where everybody tells us to go all the time. We're going to have to be the masters of our own destiny and our own pacing a little more.
Yeah. I've heard in other podcasts with like actors and musicians saying that it was hard to say no because you felt like if you said no, you wouldn't get another opportunity maybe or something like that. So I would imagine that would be a challenge, but
it still is.
Yeah.
I still find myself wanting to say yes to everything,
Yeah.
But just learning that line after COVID was kind of like, it was all shut down for a while and I had come to love traveling, touring, playing for people. I came to miss it. And so after COVID ended, it was like yes to everything again. Right? Officially, I was like, this is the year of yes. And while I was a little older, a little wiser, and a little more tempered in it, it still kind of hit a point where I was like, I think I'm saying yes too much.
Right.
So it's a constant balance.
Right. God, yeah, that's such a good point. Well, your second album, Would It Kill You, marked a shift in your sound. So what inspired that change in direction?
Yeah, very intentional. Like I had said about getting those programs, and the positive side visually programming that they taught me so much about music. Maybe I'm a visual learner, but it taught me to understand what was going on under the hood. After a few years of that, I hated it. I hated clicking and, typing music in. Like, I guess it was like AI prompts almost, and I just wanted to, I mean, it wasn't, but like it was detached from actually playing music. And I just so badly wanted to pick up an instrument and strum it and play and record that with a microphone and not click any keys anymore, So it was a reaction to that. The first record was very like electronic and that was part of what I loved. I still do love the bleeps and the bloops, but I love the human element. I love the feeling of actually playing something in real time and capturing a performance. And so I really badly just wanted to do that. And again, this was like my fancying myself Brian Wilson phase where I was like, no, it's like, we're not bleeping and blooping. We are getting a flugelhorn and a tack piano, and we're going to do this thing for real.
Yeah. Like my mind just went to like, which one's easier to do? Like just playing an instrument and with the mic or doing it on the computer?
A good question. Totally different. I mean, once you put in the work and you learn an instrument and you're comfortable, then it's easy, but it takes a lot of work. And the clicking and clacking, it has a learning curve too, but I think it's quicker. So maybe, you can like open up a program and start making a beat. Almost anybody probably can work their way around that. Like, kick drum, got it. It's, most people can make some simple music that way pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But that's the joy of like, once you, learn how to play an instrument, then it just is enjoyable to do it. I never even, at first I didn't want to be good at any instruments. Like I was inspired by Blink-182 and they were like always making a big joke about how like they're not good at their instruments, right? And so I kind of liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, yeah, it's not about being a shredder. Like I'm not going to be practicing my scales over here. Like I don't care about being good. I want to write good songs. Like I want to be a writer. And this thing's a tool. And so the beat machine is a tool and the program is a tool and a guitar is a tool. But on accident over the years, you get better at instruments. And that's been so pleasurable. That's been so pleasant.
I can imagine. Like, do you have that like flow state with playing an instrument?
100%. And thank God for that. That adds so much to my life. I recommend that to anyone. You can get it with most instruments. Piano I can just hours just disappear. And I think it's really good for my soul.
Yeah, totally. Well, you produced and recorded Never Shout Never's The Summer EP. What was that experience like and how did it differ from your work with Hellogoodbye?
It's always cool to work with somebody in that capacity as a producer. I love being able to step out and put myself in a particular role, that's somewhat defined. I guess I have a hard time sometimes collaborating with people in a very nebulous way where it's like, hey, we're all just going to try to make, and I'm like, what's my role? And so I love when it's like, I'm the producer. I'm not writing these songs. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not singing them. I'm not going to worry about that, and being able to put myself in a place like that where I can interact with the project under specific terms. Love that. Specifically working with Chris was great. He's a really sweet kid. He lived at the house with us for 2 weeks while we recorded it.
What?
Which was cool. Yeah. Put him up. Got to actually had Pat from Limbeck came and played some guitar on it. Got to have all my friends come play musicians on it. It was great. And it's cool. Fun whenever I sometimes I forget that I did that. And then like I'll go to an emo night and they'll play a Never Shout Never song. I'm like, oh shit, I recorded this.
So what is it like? What is your role as a producer? Like, what do you do in that position?
In this particular instance, I was producer and I guess engineer because I was actually, hooking everything up and it was my studio and, using all the gear. Sometimes the producer wouldn't be the engineer. But in this case, it was taking the songs that are written, and shaping how they should be put down. Restructuring them a little bit, just kind of going with like what instrumentation should happen and how we should record it. But less, I'm not worried about like the lyrics or, I'm just trying to understand what, Chris, in this case, the artist is going for, channel that for them.
Yeah. That sounds really fun.
It's fun to do. Again, like to be in different roles. Like if someone's just like, "Hey, play guitar in this," I'm like, "Cool."
Yeah.
I'm just playing guitar. Love that.
Yeah. I love a rubric. I love to be able to know exactly what is expected of me or what I need to do.
Yes.
Structure is my friend. Well, I have to ask, what inspired Ode is Love, and what got you into that process? Was it also your wife?
Yeah, that's like one of the, that's a product of all the being away from each other.
Really?
Yeah,
I
that's
had
one
a
of the
feeling when you mentioned that, maybe it was that song.
Totally. That's like the first one that comes to mind. It's actually I think it's the only song that I really completely wrote while traveling. Usually,
Wow.
usually, you don't find much time. The way I was describing it, it's all, and I do prefer having like, everything at my fingertips. So usually I don't get a lot of writing done, maybe just like lyrics from making a notepad. But that song, I wrote the whole song one night in the van, sleeping in the van, missing Chels.
Oh, that's so sweet. Do you remember playing those songs for her and what her reactions was?
Yeah. She's always really sweet about those. I mean, and I think even more over the years, it's a sweet thing.
Oh, I would love to at your wedding, did you guys play those songs?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Right.
That's fair. I would literally be like, if I was her to be like, this is for me, and this is for me, and this one's for me.
I know, tempted,
yeah.
but no.
Yeah.
We stuck with the classics, the Beatles and the Beach Boys.
Nice. That's a good move.
There's a lot of good love songs out there that I didn't write.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you would like to shout out for listeners to keep an eye out for? So we talked about next year, you have the 20th anniversary tour and a new album. And then throughout this year, you're also traveling. But was there anything else that we might have missed?
Mostly just to pinpoint that new album. I'm not sure exactly when it'll be out. It's just about done, but we're just kind of trying to like figure out when to put it out around the 20-year and everything else that's going on. Mm-hmm. But do keep your eyes peeled for that. Pretty excited about it.
Awesome. And I'm assuming, will that be on your guys' social media page when you launch it?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we are coming to the end of our time, but before I let you go, I have 3 final questions for you that we call the Thoughtful 3. So I'm most excited for this question, but what's something about the creative process that still surprises or excites you after all these years?
So I love how a song can completely change from where you start. I love how you get inspired by the process. You get like an initial idea that you're excited about, and you try to capture it as best you can, and then it comes out maybe a little off, and then you realize, oh, it's always been this, and I love that because a lot of times, the songs. Sometimes they come out easy and fast, and they're just the way that you thought they were going to be, but then sometimes it's just completely opposite to what you were expecting, but it's better than what you had planned, Yeah. And so to be surprised by that I guess that's what they call inspiration, maybe, because it doesn't feel like feels like it came from nowhere.
Yeah. Right.
But I love to see how they just change.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm honestly going to take that because sometimes when I'm working on something and it's not coming out the way I intended, I get frustrated with myself, but I like the idea of just letting it become what it is meant to be and not trying to push it back.
It tells you. It should tell you what it wants to be. And you think you know, and you don't know until it's done.
Yeah.
A lot of writers talk about being able to not be precious and to kill your own. If you've heard that quote, like, don't be, look, I wanted it to be like this, and I'm just going to use, that has to die for the better thing to live.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good tip. I love that. Well, what advice do you have for aspiring musicians?
Follow your heart. Do what you're excited about. I think that more and more we have too many people that are trying to please or trying to guess what people want and then do that, And I think we need everyone to be authentic and just express themselves, and people will pick it up, or they won't. Yeah. And then you expressed yourself, and it was what it was, and that's for the best. I would rather fail like doing what I believe in than succeed with something that I was cynical about.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've heard about like people who've released songs and they're like, I just did this and I don't love it, but it did well.
People would. And I feel like, there's nothing worse than doing something you didn't believe in and then having it go poorly. And it's like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, right. Well, lastly, what skills or qualities do you feel have been crucial to your success?
I guess perseverance. nothing's going to stop me. I'm just going to keep going. And wherever, ebbs, flows, peaks, valleys, I'm not planning on stopping or going anywhere. I'm just going to do, like I said, what I do, and what comes along comes along. And if not for that, I might have stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Oh, well, I love it. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Big shout out to Kelsey. Thank you for setting
sure.
this up.
Dog.
Yeah. I really appreciate your time. This was such a dream. So thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course.